Hi everyone, Dr. Suneel Dhand, internal medicine physician. Welcome to another video. I've talked a lot about many of the food substances which are detrimental to our health. But there is one particular food item that I believe people are unknowingly consuming across the Western world without realizing how potentially damaging it is for their health. Now, one food item that I've talked a lot about is sugar. And of course, sugar is way up on top of the list of substances or food items to try to minimize. But the one food item that I would like to focus on here is seed oils. Seed oils. What are seed oils? Well, they go by many different names. Some of the most well-known names are sunflower oil, canola oil, soybean oil, corn oil. The list goes on. But these are industrially processed man-made oils, and it was widely thought for a long time that these oils are very good for you. Many of us grew up with that idea, but the truth is very different. As for the science of why seed oils are not good for you, I could talk for a very, very long time on carbon atoms, the stability of the bonds within the seed oils, and how they promote many bodily processes which are detrimental, including sending your hormonal system into overdrive, your endocrine system is thrown off. But suffice to say, seed oils are pro-inflammatory. They lead your body to be in an inflamed state, or they're more likely to promote inflammation. And inflammation is behind many bodily disorders. We all know the more common inflammatory diseases, but inflammatory processes actually underlie many different illnesses and even promote obesity. So whether we're talking about heart disease or diabetes, know that inflammation has very likely played a role at some point. So needless to say, you don't want to consume food items that promote bodily inflammation. That's not a good thing to be doing consistently. And our consumption of seed oils has gone through the roof over the last few decades. A few decades ago, a century ago, we barely consumed any seed oils. And I could also talk for a very long time. I can talk for a long time on many different topics, but especially when it comes to these types of issues, I can talk to you about the enormous corruption that underlied our big push towards vegetable oils in the last century. It is an absolute scandal, and there's a long history behind that. But we all know how much corruption there is in the field of medicine and healthcare. But isn't it awful when it leads to people actually becoming sicker? So I really would advise you to be very careful indeed about seed oils. And it's very difficult though. That's the problem. These days, these seed oils are added to absolutely everything, and the big food companies know this. It's a trillion-dollar industry, and they add these seed oils often to food items you would never expect. Let me give you an example. This morning, the morning I made the video, I went to the grocery store, and I was browsing around. Take a look at this. Here we go. Here is an addition to your salad containing almonds. It sounds very tasty, but look at this in the ingredient list. Sunflower oil. Then we have some pistachios here. Surely pistachios don't contain seed oils, but needless to say, look at the ingredients. Sunflower oil listed right there. How about salad dressing? Well, listed number 1, soybean oil. And it goes on and on. Here is some more salad dressing, and you can see listed here, soybean oil. So what do I do when I go shopping? Well, I'm extremely diligent, almost religious on this issue. I check all of the ingredients and I do everything possible to avoid seed oils. I don't want that pro-inflammatory rubbish in me. It is very difficult because, as I said, in the United States, seed oils are added to almost everything, but I will do everything possible to avoid seed oils. And even if we're talking about simple things like snacks, now I'm a huge fan of eating simple nuts, whether that is almonds, walnuts, pistachios, cashews. I think nuts are great to consume as a snack. Often I mix them with blueberries or blackberries, put them in a bowl, and they are absolutely delicious and they're very natural. But what has the United States done? It's made it almost impossible to buy nuts which are free of vegetable oils. So when I look at the ingredient labels, I make sure that I get only the pure nuts, whether that's cashews, almonds, walnuts. I will not get the ones that have oils added to them. Now, often that ends up being slightly more expensive, but I think it's well worth it to avoid putting seed oils into me. And what I want to know is, where are the seed oil free labels? You get these sugar free labels, you get these low fat, no fat labels. What about seed oil free? Because I'll be the first in line to buy those products. Obviously, as long as they don't contain anything else bad like sugar. But getting a seed oil free label would be a massive step forward. Of course, the big food industry would absolutely hate that. They would hate seed oil free labels. But I hope that happens in the future, and it will if enough of us push for it. So what should we all be cooking with then? That's a big question. Well, you don't have to cook with any oil at all, obviously, but when I cook, I like cooking with pure olive oil. You have to be careful at the higher temperatures, but I prefer, if I'm going to cook something, quote unquote, fry it, I will use a little bit of olive oil. And if we're talking about other saturated fats that can be cooked with, a lot is being said right now about ghee. Ghee is a traditional Indian way of cooking. It's been around for a long time, centuries, thousands of years, and many people for a long time thought that ghee wasn't healthy, but now there is a swing of the pendulum back to ghee being much more healthy, certainly more healthy than these man-made processed vegetable oils. You also have to be extremely careful with eating out, whether you're getting takeouts, whether you're eating restaurant food. It is very difficult unless you're going to a very unique restaurant. It's almost impossible to avoid seed oils because these restaurants, they keep the vegetable oils, and what's worse is they cook in them again and again. It's cheaper for them. And the vegetable oils, as a result, become more unstable and more pro-inflammatory. So you really have to be careful. And as the saying goes, your health will ultimately lie in your kitchen. The more you can cook yourself, the better. You are your own best chef, and your inner chef is your best doctor. That would be my advice to you. Obviously, we all enjoy restaurants and takeouts every so often, but know what comes with that. Okay, everyone. Thanks for listening. Check out my online school and my Uncensored platform. Those links are down below. It's all about beating the establishment that makes you and your family sick and doing your best to stay away from mainstream medicine. Also hit the like button if you like this video and hit the bell button for more similar videos in the future. Thanks everyone again. Let me know your thoughts down below and we will talk again very soon.